Well, I've taken a bit of a gamble going into this Champions League quarter-final against Inter. Because we've already won the Premier League, we've been rotating the team a lot, messing around with different tactics, the 4-2-4 specifically. And we're now going into a massive, massive game with a first team that's not necessarily fully match fit. Hello and welcome to part 208 of It's Coming Home. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have both legs of that Champions League quarter-final against Inter. We start with the away game. We then do the home game. You obviously saw experimentation with tactics start in the last episode when we thumped Liverpool. And we experimented again against Manchester City, again using the 4-2-4, again rotating the team quite a lot as we do it as well. So Joksimovic was in, Kandemir, Diaby, Sloma, Young, all starting in that game, and it looked good, but it's certainly not as dominant as a 4-2-3-1, letting Manchester City back into the game a little bit. Manchester City, who, by the way, he didn't play against us, but he showed up on their scouting report, not this guy, but we've let something happen that I said I wasn't going to let happen. Stuart Thompson has signed for one of our rivals, the new Kevin Williamson, the guy who was my leading striker for England, or was my plan to take over as my main striker for England. Been at Wolves for years. He went to Manchester City in the January transfer window, and I didn't even notice. I think we must have stopped scouting him by mistake. He must have come off our short list. I don't really understand how we didn't get a notification that it was happening or see anything in the media. But yeah, Stuart Thompson now at Manchester City. It's not that I wanted him to play for us, because obviously he wouldn't get on our bench, and also we didn't have the money to go and buy him, but I always felt like I'd kind of know when it was happening, but apparently not. Let's go and play Inter Milan, and this is a team that we're going to play against, and we're going back to the tried and tested 4-2-3-1 for this game, and this is what I was talking about before, about letting match fitness slip a little bit. The likes of Maya, Beron, Cristiano, Goff, Drame haven't really been part of the experimentation system. I mean, they're fully conditioned. The conditioning is excellent throughout the squad, so I'm hoping that counts for more than this, and we've got the balance right between all of them. We will wait and see, I guess. In other news, Robert Costa back in training again. Not going to be coming on the bench, but if we can get him fit again in time for a Champions League run-in, assuming we do all right in this episode, if he can be back to his best for, say, the semi-finals, if we get there, slot him in for Drame, and that then looks like a Champions League winning team. Without Costa, Drame is obviously the one weak link in the team, average rating-wise, and I don't know if I'm ready to risk the 4-2-4 in a big game. So there's a lot riding on him rediscovering previous glories, and he's in such decline that I don't know if it's going to happen anyway. But come on, Robert, one last time. You've got to do it for another 6 weeks and we can win the Champions League, and then I'll sell you. You can go home. Who did you come through? Espanyol. There you go. We'll let you go back to Espanyol for free if we win the Champions League with you in the team. That's a deal and a half for Robert Costa. So the team for the first leg against Inter, we've got Beckett in goal, a back four of Aleph, Beron, Lee and Maya, Pancic and Cristiano in midfield, Ciriello, Drame, Goff behind, Mira up front. Let's get into the game and cross all fingers and stuff. We've gone for experience in this match as much as we can. Kandemir not fit to start, but Beron, Cristiano playing in the game where they've not necessarily been regular starters all year. But I don't know, when it's a big Champions League match, I do feel like going for players with experience is better. I might be about to be proved wrong, but I trust Beron and Cristiano to not go out there and do something insane. They might not have the youth and exuberance and natural talent of Bogarski and Juranovic, but I don't know that I necessarily need that in a Champions League quarter-final. I need trusted old hands like John Goff, who's just picked up his 19th goal of the season with less than 2 minutes on the clock, and we have an away goal. It's Inter 0, home 1 immediately, and Drame's involved, plays it out wide, to Ciriello, hits it first time to Goff, and what a finish from John Goff. As I mentioned, not really been in the team of late, had a little bit of a knock. Flager's been getting a run of games after Goff's brilliant start to the season. We've all seen how well Flager's been doing in recent games, but Flager now injured, or was injured. He's now fit again to sit on the bench, but he did pick up a knock on international duty. Goff back in the team, and back scoring goals again because he's John Goff. And that's what he does. In other news, I was looking at the club legends, club personnel list. It's still just me on the club legends list, but Mira is now up on icons, and I suspect Mira might be the first player to make it to the legends list if he carries on as he is. I'm not really sure what's happened here with this corner. Cross comes in, and Cristiano, with a bit of a howler, playing it into the Inter player. Beckart can't really fault him for it. And I'm going to have a long, hard look at Cristiano. And he's another one. This might be his final hurrah. If he doesn't perform today, he's only in that team for his experience. 50 caps for Brazil, lots and lots of games for home, vastly experienced player. But if he's not up to the task, then we don't play him in the second leg, and we're now 2-1 down, and that was an excellent goal from Inter. And please tell me we're not going to be in the same situation again where we're absolutely dominating the Premier League, where it's not even competitive. We are utterly dominating the Premier League, which is the best league in the world reputation-wise, but then we come into the latter stages of the Champions League, and it's like we're playing against super teams. It's like we're afraid of the Champions League. How are we 3-1 down after 38 minutes? How is this happening? Show some passion. What is wrong with this team when it comes to playing European football? Look at these pathetic performances. I don't understand how we can be so good in the Premier League and so utterly terrible in the Champions League. We've been dominated for possession. They've had more shots than us. This doesn't happen to us ever. The last time anything like that happened was in the Champions League final last season. I do expect a much better showing in that second half. That was pathetic. Right. Do we go to the 4-2-4? I think we'll give it 10 minutes. And then Thor is coming on, and we're going 2 up top. We've got to get back into this game. I know it's only the first leg, but if they score here, my word. No, I can't do this. I cannot have us get battered again. Right, Drame's coming off, Thor is coming on, and this is my response to how poorly we've played. Bring on an extra striker. We've now got our best 11 players all on the pitch together. So hopefully that's going to be a difference maker. Ciriello with the cross. Thor off the underside of the crossbar. It looks like Lee has fouled their player. We're going to demand more. But Thor already getting in the mix of the action, which is exactly what he's on the pitch to do. I am wary of the old adage that we can't win this tie today, but we can lose it. Even though I'm not one to change tactics, my inner voice is screaming at me to go attacking. But in the grand scheme of things, being 3-1 down isn't a disaster. 4-1 down is. We've got to go for it. We've got to get another goal now. We can't go into the second leg 4-1 down. We may as well be 6-1 down. So let's attack. Let's go for it. What have we got on the bench that can sort this nonsense out? Mira has had a terrible game. Ben Young is going to come on for him. I've not seen Mira have a game that poor for a long time. Aleph as well. Candemil wasn't fully fit, but he's our captain, vastly experienced, and Aleph is having a nightmare. So let's get Candemil on that side. And I'm flabbergasted that this is happening. Thor, cross towards Young. Ciriello's there. Young is in and forces the save from the Inter keeper. Goff wins the ball back, and it's straight at the keeper again. Come on, demand more. This is not okay. How does this keep happening to us in Europe? Are we ever... Surely a team as good as home. I genuinely think it's the best team, the best squad of players, the best team I've ever put together in Football Manager. But I am starting to worry that we might not win the Champions League with home, which would be ridiculous if that is a... Oh, my God. It's been so long since we've played this part. In fact, we all can pinpoint the exact date, which was the last time we played this poorly. It was the Champions League final. We're a bunch of bottlers. When that was even worse than the Champions League final. That was utterly hideous. The one saving grace is we have that away goal. We can beat anybody 3-0 on our day, and that's what we've got to do in that second leg. Forget experimenting with tactics and nonsense like that for this Bristol City game. We're going in with a 4-2-3-1. We're going to go in and try and score 8 goals and go into the second leg feeling good and able to overturn that pathetic first leg. Well, I'm such a contradiction. We played against Bristol City. We thumped them 5-0. Thor got a hat-trick. And now I don't see how I don't play him against Inter. But at the same time, how do I not play Mira against Inter? Because he's been so good all season. So we're going to the 4-2-4 for a massive game. I might end up regretting this, but I think with the players we've got available, this gets the best 11 on the pitch. So it's pretty much the team from the first leg, other than the fact Thor is in for Drame, who drops out of the squad entirely. I don't have an option to go back to a 4-2-3-1 if things look like they're going right. I guess Young or Thor could play in that gap there. Zupancic at a push can play there as well. But we're kind of committed that we're going 2 strikers in this game, 2 on the pitch from the start, 2 more on the bench. We are absolutely going for it. I just hope we can score 3 goals without reply, or 10 goals with a couple of replies. That would also work. I just hope Inter are feeling overconfident after what they did to us in that first leg. That's all I can hope for. Right, team talk. Aggressive. Avenge what happened last time. I want them to know I am still furious about what happened in that first leg, because I am furious about what happened in that first leg. I can't believe the same team can do that to us twice. So I have to believe that we're going to sort it all out in this game and win comfortably. That's the plan. Right, Candemill with the cross, looking for Mira. Doesn't quite get to him, and Lee nods it back to Mayer through Cristiano. We're building again through the wide players. Goff out to Mayer. Mayer in a crossing position. Cross comes over. Thor is chasing after it. Does eventually get there, and there's Goff, and that's a big miss. John Goff doesn't miss many headers from that kind of range. He'd come charging in, basically following the run of Thor, who drifted wide, and I do expect better from Goff, and now Lee has hit the post, and already it's feeling like it might be one of those days. We're getting shots, but we're wasting them. Goff with the corner, and have we got a penalty? We have got a penalty. Please don't bottle this, John. You're a hero to me, but you're pushing it a little bit with that miss early on. Goff to take the penalty, and Goff scores, and it's 1-0 after 22 minutes. 1-0 on the night, still 4-2 to Inter on aggregate, but of course we do have that away goal. So 2 more goals, and we are ahead in the tie, as long as Inter don't score. But, you know, we've got defenders on the pitch. They should be able to stop Inter from scoring. That's the plan. Anyway, they have a corner, for goodness sake. Oh! Why is it happening? Well, now we just have to score 3 times. Three more times. Oh, my word. Beckett really probably should have done better there. There's probably a strong argument Powell could and should have played, maybe. But, I don't know. I still don't know who my best goalkeeper is. This has been going on for 5 seasons of not knowing who my best goalkeeper is. Aggressive, avenge, got to go attacking now for the entire second half. We've just got to score goals, and lots of them, and Mira has not turned up again. Mr. Big Game Bottler scored so many goals this season. He needs a big performance in this second half, or I just play Thor in big games from now on. That's the solution once Costa's fit again, if he ever gets fit again. Chasing down the keeper there is Thor and Mira. They're both putting pressure on the goalkeeper. This is good. Zupancic plays to Ceriello. He's got Candemill on the overlap. Crosses it himself, though, and this time Goff doesn't miss with his header. Makes up for his miss in the first half. It's Goff's second goal of the game. His 21st of the season. It's now back up to 3-5 on aggregate. We still need 2 more, but that is an immediate goal at the start of this second half. And John Goff is trying to grab hold of this game. By the scruff of the neck. Thor is injured. We're not going to keep anyone on with an injury. Augusto can come on and take his place. We're going to swap the 2 of them over. Get Mira playing as the complete forward. Get Augusto playing as the advanced forward. Maybe this is the night that Carlos Augusto announces his arrival on a world stage. Goff with the throw to Mira. Goff now with the chance to cross. Cross comes over. Augusto can't quite get there, trying to challenge the goalkeeper. Augusto is a very different kind of striker to Thor. Obviously, Thor is a big lad, big, powerful player. Augusto, smaller, not much smaller. He's still a 6-footer, I think, but quick and skillful and very much a flair player. And we need a little spark of magic from him in this final half hour of the game, because Inter are just knocking the ball around. But Augusto nicks the ball off them there. Mira's in the middle. Augusto crosses to Mira. And their keeper's done very, very well there. But that's the kind of thing we want. We need to be nicking the ball off and having these little counter-attacks. We've got to score 2 more goals. Right. I want to get Flager on the pitch, but I have no one I can bring him on for. I'm going to get Young on, but for Ceriello, I'm going to move Mira out to the inside forward position. Young and Augusto. Young does link play up nicely, and maybe he can create some chances for those around him. Maybe it's Ben Young's night to shine, but Mira moves out onto that left wing just because I can't bring myself to take him off. What is Beckhardt doing? For goodness sake. Right, I want to shout some more, but I don't seem to have any shout in me at the moment. Do we go all-out attack? That never works. But, oh, God! I just don't have any words. I do not have any words for what has just happened. Just why? Why does it have to be this way? Flager can come on for Mira and play as the inside forward. We've got to score 3 times in the last 10 minutes of this game. I don't understand how we've been so completely outclassed by Inter over 2 legs. We go another year without a Champions League win. I'm starting to feel like it's never going to happen. Or the game is scripting it so that it happens at the same time as we announce we're going home, because it's a year until we can announce the new stadium, I think. So maybe it's just all set up perfectly so we win the Champions League and immediately announce the new ground to celebrate. That would be a perfect... that would be a perfect way to end the series. I don't expect FM20 to be out soon enough for that to be the end point, but that would be a perfect end. But that was poor. We need a bit of I don't want to say a rebuild this summer, but there are a few old players who do need to get out of the way at this point, because they've failed us too many times. For some, Maya, Cristiano, Costa, Beron, Ceriello maybe. For some of these, that was their last chance to win the Champions League. They've blown it. Let's hand it over to the youngsters who, to be fair to them, are playing more Premier League games, and that's where we're dominating. So perhaps we need to be taking the players who are dominating the Premier League and taking them into Europe, rather than trying to keep our elite team for the Champions League, and it just doesn't work. Gutted about that. That was ridiculous. If you've enjoyed that, you monster, how could you enjoy that? Give it a thumbs up anyway, because it helps the video. But I acknowledge it's not because you enjoyed that, because that was hideous. But a thumbs up anyway would be nice. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.